Here we are at the Arts Theatre, and you're bumping in I Loved Lucy, having had a very successful season already. Was it last year?
Last February and then April.
At the German Street Theatre. It's very exciting to be coming into the West End.
Yeah,
You'd be more excited if you were awake because you've just been on the plane all
no,
night long.
I'm very, very excited. I am so excited that I'm speechless. So this wasn't even on my bucket list, as I say.
He's always awake.
I'm always awake.
No.
I'm just a little less awake.
Lee, you wrote the book,
I did.
which led to the play,
It did.
I Loved Lucy. And Wanda, you worked with Lucy for, 30 years?
Oh, yeah, 27.
I was reading that this job wasn't advertised, you were given it through a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
What was it like getting that close to such an iconic personality, actress, that we all felt we knew, but you did?
Well, it was exciting and fun. And Lucy was a warm and generous person.
Really?
Kind.
It's nice to hear that, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Because we hope that of
I hear other stories sometimes, and I say, when? Where? I was there. Who told you that?
I get the impression too that she was a very smart businesswoman.
She was smart,
Yeah.
but she did give Desi Arnaz great credit for the success. Desi was a visionary. Lucy always said that.
Yeah. Now, Lee,
Yes, sir.
when I saw the play, I took it as some sort of love letter to Lucy from someone who you had a different relationship with her, more in her retirement. Describe that for us.
Well, it was the last 10 years of her life when she was sort of out of the public spotlight, and I always like to think the backgammon table in the backgammon room became sort of like her soundstage.
Who was the better backgammon player?
Oh, I was. Oh, there was no question I was, but I didn't let her know that. I wouldn't have gotten paid. No, she was a great game player, and I think she could have been a fantastic player. But Lucy was also, needed to be worrying about the plans and worrying about what we were having for dinner and worrying about if I was okay, and So, but no, she was a great player. She was playing way before I was, and she got lessons from Champion.
And what prompted you to turn this into a book, which then turned into the play?
The book was written out of a sense of my partner Tom telling me to write these things down when I turned 50, because I might forget them. So I sat at the computer every morning and I kind of like just jotted down 30 or 40 pages of memories that I would tell friends, around. And he read them and he said, "This could be a good book." And I said, "Well, who would want to read a book by someone you've never heard of?" And he said, "You're right, except you're writing about the most famous woman in the world." So when I got through that humility, I finished it up and we sold it to St. Martin's Press, a great publishing house in New York, like within a week.
What's it like watching other people play yourself on stage?
Horrifying.
Why?
Horrifying and scary and
Are they good?
nauseating. Ultimately, I hope good, but it's pretty horrifying. You can give the book to someone and you go like, "Okay, go read the book," and then you go away and you hope that they lie and tell you they loved everything about the book and you're a terrific writer. And then you get, a terrific actor like Matt Scott, who kind of like has his own, spin, and then you kind of see yourself personified up there. It's very satisfying, but it's just, you would imagine if any one of us are portrayed by somebody, and you're sitting in the audience. Again, when I go home, God bless them, they can do what they want. But when I'm sitting there, I'm going like, "Ugh."
This is a bit like a reunion for you.
Oh, yes.
Do you know one another?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God,
Oh,
10 years.
yes.
When I was 10 years old, well, before I was 10 years old, I used to write Lucy for letters about getting pictures and birthday cards, and everything went through Wanda. And I used to think that Wanda signed them. I said this earlier today. I used to think that Wanda signed them, to Lily, love Lucy. Lucy signed every picture and wrote every
That's
letter.
a real credit to her, isn't it?
And it is. I give lots of credit. But this book and the play is not a biography of Lucille Ball
No.
or of I Love Lucy.
It's
TV
like a
show.
snapshot.
It's his memoirs of his friendship with Lucy.
Yeah.
Because he was there.
Yeah.
And
Now
I
we're
understand.
talking about someone who is not only one of the most famous people in the world, but her shows, her reputation have remained when others haven't.
And
That's true.
it's still being watched.
Yeah,
I
people
get
still love her.
People call me, all ages, little kids, grandparents.
What do you think she would have considered herself to be? A comedian, an actress, a producer?
Lucy just liked to work.
Really?
She liked her work. And if she thought it was funny, she'd do it.
So she was just a hard worker.
Hard worker.
Yeah.
Hardest
And
working person I ever knew.
looking back at the beginning of her career, she started out as just one of sort of the dancers in the
Showgirl.
Yeah. So it wasn't
A
really.
model, really.
It wasn't.
Modeled, yeah.
It wasn't really, preordained that she would have that sort of career.
Lucy knew she would. Lucy was, she thought she was going to go into vaudeville, and then she realized vaudeville had passed.
Yeah.
She wanted to entertain. She told stories about taking her family's furniture to the high school for a play and selling tickets, and
So she was onto it.
she knew.
So you're looking forward to seeing this here in the
Very
West
much,
End?
very
Yeah.
much.
And
I
maybe
just-
going forward, taking it back to America.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like to go one step at a time. Because if it's horrifying here, you can imagine how horrifying it is in your backyard.
Oh, Maran, go sit over there. I don't want you right out of my purview. Go away. You can hear me. I articulate.
You're talking to Lee, who's over there in the back. They're bumping in the theatre. The theatre is getting prepared, so you've had your rehearsal period.
Yeah.
What's it like playing someone who's watching from the wings? Because often,
He is watching from the wings right this very moment.
Because when you normally play a part, they're fictional or they died
True.
years ago. Or
True. No. It's an honor because what we're putting out on the stage, we actually have somebody here who can tell us exactly how this all went down, how this all played out, and really speak to the intricacies of their relationship, of what made their relationship unique and special. So, it's an honor to play Lee. He's a great guy who I've known for a long time and I think is just a terrific human being. The extra added element of that, which is really lovely, is that we have a living author in the room.
Yes.
Who can actually inform us and answer questions, and then we can ask questions of, and then maybe he can say, "Oh, right, that happened too." We've been really making adjustments and changes since the later versions that have premiered here. This is a new version. This is a different version with a lot of
incarnation
changes.
number 3.
It sure is.
I believe you sing in this one.
Do I?
I don't know.
Do I sing in this? I do sing in this one. I do sing in this one. But, mind you, I sing as Lee Tannen.
Right. I'll leave that hanging in
Not
the air. How's
as
that?
Broadway star Matthew Scott.
What's it like coming from Broadway, New York,
Yeah,
where you live,
I do.
and coming here to London?
Well, first of all, I love London. I may stay here.
Really?
Yeah, I may stay here. No, I really adore this town.
Yeah.
And I've just had the most remarkable 3 weeks. It's very different, I'll say that. The caliber of both Broadway and the West End is through the roof. And obviously, the people that are on this project are just exceptional.
Sandra
Sandra
as Lucille Ball.
she's amazing.
I mean,
She's amazing, and she's
it's
equally
one
as
of those
amazing on
performances
stage.
that you can forget that you're not actually looking at the real Lucille Ball, which is really something.
Absolutely.
You knew of Lucille Ball.
Oh, absolutely.
You're much too young
to
have been around when the shows were sort of aired or anything.
Of course, but in the States we had a channel called a Nick at Night.
Right.
That was something that kids could watch, in the 6 o'clock, 7 p.m., 8 o'clock hour, and they would re-air
Rerun things,
shows.
yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, and of course Lucille Ball, and I Love Lucy, which was my favorite.
So, what was your relationship with Lucille Ball beforehand?
Well, when I went on to study, formally study acting, I actually found myself going back and revisiting a lot of those shows because it wasn't until I was in university and I was really working on my craft that I realized how brilliantly these episodes were crafted.
And you want to go back
And
to
you
watch
want to go
as
back
a-
and go, why did that make
as
me
an actor.
laugh?
Right.
What is she doing? Look look how focused she is, and look at how she's listening, and she's playing so believably in this ridiculous world, So it had a double kind of importance to me when I would go back and review those episodes later on. And even today, you see something else, that's just blows your mind. You think nobody should be able to do that. She was, and admittedly so by most comedians today, still the greatest that we have.
And now you get to put your voice to Lee Tannen's
Right.
incarnation in the play,
Right.
and have a relationship with her. It
Yeah.
must be
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, it's surreal. No, it's surreal. And like you said, Sandra just kind of becomes her.
Yeah.
So you forget yourself. And I like to think that I've got Lee nailed down here. So I would like to think that if Lucy were here,
Is this a-
she would think that she were actually talking to Lee.
There you go. Well, look, all the
A
very
much
best.
more handsome Lee
that-
Tennant. Don't put that in the
That
video.
goes-
That's
that
what
goes
are we
without
doing?
saying. That goes without saying. It's very lovely to meet you, Matt.
Thank you.
Welcome to London.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations and good luck with the overture.